Working on movie sets is supposed to be a dream come true, but co-stars can quickly make it a nightmare by making mean comments, screaming at people, or literally pushing someone around. Here are the top 10 celebrities who exposed their rude co-stars. Rebel Wilson's book Rebel Rising was released this year and caused quite a stir when it exposed some new information about an already controversial figure. Wilson held absolutely nothing back when she titled a chapter Sacha Baron Cohen and Other A-Holes. The pair worked together on the 2016 film Grimsby, and Wilson claims it was not a fun experience. The actress claims Cohen humiliated her on set and in the film, something Cohen has reportedly denied. Apparently, Wilson had a no nudity clause in her contract, and yet Cohen would ask if she wanted to do it frequently. Upon returning for reshoots, the actress says she felt disrespected while there, so much so that when the movie did come out, she almost did nothing to promote it and has allegedly never even seen it. This isn't the first time a controversy has been attached to Cohen's name. He's actually known for quite a few, but a major one was the incident with the ashes he threw on the red carpet one year. Isaiah Washington had so much Hollywood potential, but then he made some controversial public comments and threw it all away. You probably know Washington from Grey's Anatomy, where he starred as Dr. Preston Burke. Well, that's the show where everything went wrong. According to the book by Lynette Rice, How to Save a Life, the inside story of Grey's Anatomy, a fight between Washington and Patrick Dempsey broke out on set, causing the domino effect that led to Washington's firing. According to interviews in the book, one of the men was late to set one day, so the next day, the other decided to get him back and be late. Tensions got really high, and soon the two men were brawling in studio. Washington allegedly pushed Dempsey up against a wall and began shouting in his face, and that's bad, but it wasn't until Washington used a negative term to describe gay people that the fight stopped. The word was used in context of another actor on the show who was known to be gay. Washington ended up apologizing, but then for some reason used the word again at the Golden Globes. One of his co-stars, Katherine Heigl, spoke about this as her friend was the person being called names. She said, "I'm going to be really honest right now, he needs to just not speak in public." Is she wrong? Every time he opened his mouth at this time, it just got worse. Years later, Washington is still using his voice to advocate for causes he believes in, but every once in a while says something that completely misses the mark. That, or he is bringing up his departure from the show again. Megan Fox and Lindsay Lohan worked together for the iconic early 2000s movie Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. Their confessions that came out after the film painted an interesting picture. Apparently, Fox and Lohan did not get along, but Fox attributes that more to their ages than anything else. A few years post-film release, Fox went on record saying that the two women might get along better now that they were older. Lohan has given her reason why she was once angry with Fox during filming. Megan was allowed to get a spray tan, and Lindsay wasn't, and that made her quite jealous. Charlie Sheen, who you may know from 2.5 Men, has a confirmed history of not being nice to his partners. Actress Denise Richards is another example of the man's terrible pattern. The pair worked together on 2.5 Men, fell in love, got married, and started a family. However, things changed in May of 2006. Richards filed a restraining order against Sheen. According to the order, Sheen could only see their family if it was a supervised visit. Otherwise, he had to stay 300 yards away from them at all times. The reason Richards had to get the restraining order in the first place was because Sheen allegedly said some violent things to her and handled her roughly. Similar situations would happen later on in Sheen's career with different women. She would also gain public attention by making odd claims and statements. Eventually, he was let go from the CBS show. Jennette McCurdy co-starred with Ariana Grande on Nickelodeon's show Sam and Cat, based on their characters from other popular Nick shows. Again, these two did not always see eye to eye on set, sometimes not even seeing each other for a week. McCurdy's memoir, I'm Glad My Mom Died, dropped in 2022 and dropped some major info about Ariana along with it. According to the book, as Sam and Cat was in its first bit of filming, Ariana's music career started taking off, leading to Ariana suddenly not being around as much, leaving McCurdy to start picking up the slack. McCurdy's book details how Grande used used to regularly miss filming. According to the book, Ariana was missing filming to go sing at award shows, record new songs, and do press for her upcoming album. While in McCurdy's words, she had to angrily hold down the fort. McCurdy does admit that a lot of her ill will towards Ariana was rooted in jealousy. Jealous that Ariana was able to miss so much filming, but McCurdy hadn't had the opportunity to do that when she had asked in the past. McCurdy writes that she had to turn down 2 features she had booked while working on iCarly because the team for the show would not write her out of the episodes so she could film the movies, whereas Grande would sometimes miss a week at a time. Rebecca Ferguson caught the attention of pretty much the entire internet when she shared in an interview that she had once been yelled at by a co-star years ago. Almost immediately after this interview dropped, the entire internet was scouring Ferguson's movie credits trying to figure out who this person was that yelled at the Dune star. It's been a few months since and people have decided that the actor in question is Hugh Grant. Ferguson still has not confirmed exactly who she was talking about, but people are looking at what other Grant co-stars have said about working with him, and it doesn't make him look good. TV host and actor Jon Stewart claims Grant's on-set behavior wasn't the nicest in a 2012 interview, going so far as to say the actor would never be welcomed back on the show he had been working for at the time. He also said Grant was giving everyone grief the whole time and he's a big pain. Hugh Grant has admitted to acting rudely on a set. In an interview with Total Film magazine, Grant shared that while on the set of the movie Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, he lost his temper with a woman in his eye line. He says that he thought she was someone that should have known where to be on set, but in reality it was the chaperone for the young girl on the movie, meaning that woman was just a nice local woman. He said that the incident was terrible and there was a lot of groveling. We know he yelled at this woman, but we don't know for sure if Grant is the one that yelled at Ferguson, but Grant has admitted himself that Renee Zellweger is one of the few actresses he hasn't fallen out with, so there is that. One of the biggest ongoing Hollywood feuds is between Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Vin Diesel. Those two absolutely do not get along. It seems they might be doing better now, but there was once a time when the two men were hurling insults at each other and not appearing in any scenes together in movies they co-starred in. It might have something to do with Diesel giving out unwanted acting advice, claiming that he used a tough love approach to get Johnson's performance to the place it needed to be, something Johnson claims he laughed at. Johnson has shared that him and Diesel have a fundamental difference in philosophies on how they approach movie making and collaborating, and that is what is causing all the trouble. No matter what is causing the long-standing feud, the two men, they're not good friends. Busy Phillips is one of the many actresses to expose co-star James Franco for his rude on-set behavior. The two worked together on the 1999 TV series Freaks and Geeks, and apparently it was awful. Busy claims Franco acted like a bully on set and once shoved her to the ground. Allegedly, while filming a scene where Busy was directed to lightly hit Franco on the chest, Franco, not in character anymore, grabbed Busy, screamed in her face, and then threw her to the ground. Allegedly, he was forced to apologize by the directors and producers. The incident with Phillips isn't the only terrible thing the actor has been accused of. 5 women have come forward accusing him of inappropriate misconduct. Franco is definitely in some hot water. Vanessa Marquez is known for her role in ER, where she starred alongside George Clooney. Vanessa was on the show for only 3 of the 15 seasons, and she claims Clooney had something to do with her being let go from the show and written off. Vanessa would go on to accuse Clooney of having a hand in blacklisting her from not just the show, but Hollywood in general. Vanessa claims that George Clooney and other actors on the show had acted inappropriately towards her on set. Not necessarily saying that Clooney was the one doing it, she just named him and said that she experienced bad behavior every day while working on the show. Vanessa says she complained to someone about the on-set inappropriate actions and claims that that was the reason why she was fired from the show. George Clooney has directly acknowledged these accusations. In 2017, he said he had nothing to do with Vanessa being blacklisted and that he actually didn't even realize she was. And finally, the award for the most disastrous press tour goes to the Don't Worry Darling press tour. Truly, that tour could not have gone worse. Harry Styles was accused of spitting on his co-star Chris Pine, but even more serious, the lead of the movie, Florence Pugh, allegedly was in a feud with co-star and director of the film, Olivia Wilde. Florence Pugh was noticeably absent during the film's premiere at the Venice Film Festival. She did make a red carpet appearance, noticeably staying away from Olivia Wilde. Florence hasn't explicitly said anything, but her silence at the time was just as loud. Then there's also the matter of Pugh's attitude switch from when the film was first announced versus when it actually came out. Pugh seemed super excited about the project when she first signed on, posting about it online, praising Wilde. However, when it came time to promote the film, she barely said anything. Or if she did say something, she almost always left Olivia Wilde out of it. The few times Pugh had talked about the film, it seemed like she was contradicting something Wilde had said. A big point of conflict came even before filming started, surrounding the casting of Shia LaBeouf. LaBeouf had been accused of bad things by ex-FKA Twigs, and Florence allegedly did not feel comfortable working with him. At first, Olivia said she agreed, and that's why he was fired. However, LaBeouf came forward and pretty much said Olivia was lying, sharing screenshots and a video from Wilde that made it seem like she was actually on his side. Around when these got released, Florence confirmed she would not be promoting the film with Wilde. There was also this rumor floating around for a while that Florence allegedly took on a more directorial role during filming, as Wilde was preoccupied with Harry Styles. This has yet to be, and likely never will be, confirmed. But what do you think about all this? Let us know in the comments. Bye!